few programs, or how to write the programs, and then I'll tell you a few important things that are related to writing a program. Okay, so first we'll write a program for adding of two numbers.
Sir, can you increase the volume?
Hello,
Sir, your voice is not audible.
now is it audible?
Sir, it coming very low.
You just check your mobile your system volume once.
Yes, sir, it is full, but your voice is coming low, sir.
So still it is low.
Okay, sir, it is now audible.
Okay, okay. Uh, First, we'll write program for adding of two numbers.
I
So
have
when
tried
you
to,
hello,
sir.
yes,
Sir, I have tried to do, sir, but but when I am doing compile, sir, it is showing the error.
okay, just check now whether you the program you written is correct or not.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so make sure you when you are saving the program you save it as .c. So I'm writing this add.c. Add is the name of the program, and .c is the extension for that program. Okay, so save it with add.c. And now when you are writing this one, so see, so first I'll write with my linking section, that is dash include. I want to include stdio.h, so which is a header file for standard input output operations. Okay, so next I'll be writing my main function. The main function will have an opening and closing curly braces. Okay, and remember one thing, the C language is a case sensitive language. Case sensitive. Almost 99% everything as per the syntax is in lowercase alphabets. It is case sensitive. Main with small m is different from main with capital M. Okay, it accepts only lowercase alphabets. Okay, so when you're writing your main function, so main function actually it includes two things. The first thing in main function is declaration. That means variables. You need to list out all the variables that you want to use in this program. The main function will divide it into two parts. The first part is variable declaration, and the second part is the statements what you want to execute. That means I'll say them as executable statements. You can say them as executable statements. So what are these executable statements means? So executable statements, it includes your input operations, your mathematical or logical operations, your output statements. Everything is considered as your executable statements. Suppose say I want to add two numbers. So let us confine the two numbers are integers. Okay, so that means I require two integer variables. I'll say them as int a comma b. Int a comma b are my two integer values, variables. Okay. So coming to that is your declaration part. That is your declaration. If I have 10 variables to be used in my program, all the 10 variables have to be declared. If there are 10 different types of variables, all 10 different types of variables have to be declared. Okay, whatever variables I need to use in my program, they have to be declared in the beginning of the main function. The immediate statements that I write in main function is declaration. And next, coming to the executable part. So this executable part, it mainly consists of three type of statements. So first type of statement is your input statements. And next is all the operations that you want to perform. All the operations that you want to perform. And next, a third type of statement is your output statements. So input statements, all the operations, you say mathematical operations or you say logical operations, whatever you write. And next, the third type is your output statement. So your executable statements includes these three parts. It includes these three parts: input. So operations, you can say them as processing of your data. And finally, output statements. So first coming to input statement. So how the input statement? So I want to give input to these values, these variables. Say I'll give input A is a 10 and B value is 20. This is the input for my variables. Okay. A equal to 10 and B. I'm giving some values, some integer values to A and B. You can give any value of your choice. Okay. I've given two values, two integer values to A and B. And then I want to apply addition operation on A and B. I want to apply addition operation on A and B. I'll say like this: A plus B. I'll say A plus B. If I say A plus B, A value and B value gets added, and I simply want to store the result of this A plus B into some other variable. I'll say it as result is equal to A plus B. Result is also one variable. What may be the type of your result? What is the type of the result? Hello? What is the type of result? I'm not asking the value of that result. What is the data type of that result? So what is the type of A and B?
Integer.
Integer. So what is the result when you add two integers? What is the type when you add two integers?
B.
Huh? When you are adding two integers, so what type you get?
30.
Hmm? Not I'm asking the value, I'm asking the type of that value,
Addition. Some
data type of that value. So when you are adding two integer numbers, what is the data type of that result? Data type, the result type is also integer, right? When you add two integer numbers, so will you get a value like point something? No, will not get a result of that type. So my result type is also integer. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to just display the result. That means the output I want to display. So printf addition of two numbers is equal to, I'll say, we'll see this, what is this all now. Okay. So this will display the answer. Addition of two numbers is equal to 30. It displays like that. And now I'll tell you what actually that the statement actually means. So now I'm just compiling and displaying the answer. Say, look at your output. So this is your output. Addition of two numbers is 30. So you're able to view the output. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So the addition of two numbers is equal to 30. Just it is displaying something on the screen. Okay, that is your output. So uh, this is your input part. So this is what operations you are doing, and this is your output statement. So whatever program you take, so your program will have these three parts. And also the first part by defaultly it is all the variable declarations. So whatever program you take, so your program will have these parts. So first definitely you will have all the variable declarations. So next you'll have input for the data. And next you will be doing operations. That means processing your data. Now sometimes your operations may be one statement. Sometimes the operations that you perform may be 100 statements. It depends on the task you are doing. It depends on the task you're doing. Not always your operations is not restricted to 1 or 10 statements. Sometimes it is 10, sometimes it may be 100 statements. It is purely depends on the task that you have chosen. Okay. And next, finally, you need to give the output to your code.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, addition of two numbers is equals to percent of D. Why did you kept like that, sir?
No. Next, immediately after completion of this, I will discuss that only. So you just don't
Okay.
bother about that now. I'm just telling you
Okay,
that
sir.
will give you output. That's it. Immediately next, we'll learn what is that actually.
Okay,
I'll
sir.
tell you now. So as of now, I'm just giving you. Yesterday we have discussed about some structure of the program. So what actually we use in that structure is this parts. So we'll write a linking section. We'll write a main function. So when writing a main function, so these are the actual things included in your main function. When we write a main function, these are the actual things we include. Main function requires a declaration statements. If I use 100 variables in my program, all the 100 variables need to be declared first. First, you have to declare all the 100 variables. And then out of those 100, I'll take input for a few variables. See, here I have 3 variables were declared, A, B, and results. Out of A, B, and result, I have taken input for 2 variables. Only for A and B, I have taken the input. And based on that input, I am calculating addition operation and storing that final result into a variable res. You can take it result, you can take it value, you can take it C. That is your choice. And the name you're taking is your choice. Not only
Sir,
AB, you can take XY, you can take A1, A2, some names. Yes?
so why you have put percentage D, sir?
We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. Don't. As of now, I have not discussed about that, so we'll see it now. Okay. So I have taken input. So now I am doing that addition operation, and I have got some answer which is in the result. And finally, by using that printf statement, I am writing, I am giving output to the user. So how we have written that output and what is that all actually means? So now we'll see. So this is what I want to discuss about the structure of your program, how actually it looks. So yesterday we have seen how the structure looks and how the structure actually used in the while writing a program is like this. Okay. So now we'll see. So you are very much worried about so what actually that is. So look at this. To give output to the user, we'll use one predefined function. So the name of that predefined function is called as printf. So why F? F means formatted. So the name itself is given like printf. Okay, so there is no space in between print and F. That is the one word, printf. Okay. So printf is a function which is used to give output to the user. If the program want to convey something to the user, so that will be conveyed by using this printf statement. So that statement is printf. Okay. So now getting into the syntax of this printf. So the syntax of the printf, it looks like this. Printf, open the braces. So start double quotations. And in between the double quotations, you can write a string. And we call that string as a control string. So what statement I want to display on the screen? What statement I want to give or display to the user? That string I will place in the part of this control string. If I want to display hello students, I'll display that part in the double quotations like this. Whatever statement I want to give as output, so that statement I'll place in the control string. Got it? So when you look at the previous program, so what we discussed yesterday. So I have written some statement. Hello students, welcome to C language class. So I want to display that statement on the screen. So that complete statement is placed in the double quotations. And you can simply close it. And at end of the statement, I'll have a semicolon. In C programming, almost 90% every statement will end up with a semicolon. So if there is such a statement, if If there is no semicolon, I'll discuss it. Okay, but most of the statements will have semicolon at the end. So whatever statement I want to print on the screen, so simply place that complete statement in between the double quotations. Got it? So you people understood what is the first statement that I have written here?
What
This
is
one.
arg1, arg2, argn?
Is it okay with this part? So the statement which I discussed now.
Yes, sir.
If you are okay with that, I'll continue. I'll say
Yes.
what is the arguments. Is it okay for everyone? The statement I want to display. So you simply place that statement in the double quotations. Statement. Okay. Suppose, so this printf statement is also having a second part, that is arg, arg2, argn, so that we call them as arguments. The control string and arguments are separated with a comma, and again all the arguments, if you have multiple arguments, all the arguments are also separated with commas. Okay, so what are these arguments? Suppose in the control string, if a statement is there, you can place in the double quotations. Suppose in the control string, suppose if you want to display the value of any variable, suppose I have a variable, say a. So in my control string, I want to display the value of a. I also want to include the value of a in the control string. In that case, what I will do is, so where I want to display the value of a, so there I will be writing a format specifier. I will be writing a format specifier. So these format specifiers are specific to data. That means the data type. If you want to include an integer value, I'll be writing it like percentile D. If I want to include a float value, I'll write like percentile F. If I want to include a character data, I'll write like percentile C. If you want to include the value of any variable in the control string, so where you want to include, instead of that variable, you have to include the format specifier of that data type. If a is an integer data, I'll write instead of that variable, I'll write percentile D. If a is a float value, float data, I'll write percentile F. If a is a character, I'll write it as percentile C. And how many number of format specifiers are there in your control string? That many number of arguments I have to write at the end of the printf. If there are no format specifiers in the control string, no need of writing the arguments. So see, look at the first printf, that is hello students. There in that statement, I don't have any format specifiers. Do I have any format specifiers there?
No, sir.
No. So no need of writing the arguments. If I have format specifiers in the control string, for one format specifier, you have to write one argument. If there are 10 format specifiers in your control string, you have to write 10 arguments. Okay. Number of format specifiers in the control string should match with the number of arguments that you write in the printf. And you have to specify those arguments in the order you want to display. And which order you are using the format specifier, in that order you have to write down the arguments. See here, look at this printf, the second or third printf in this slide. I want to display the current value of x. I want to display, just concentrate this one very carefully, because without writing this print statement, no program exists. No program exists. See, yesterday I told you one very basic program. So there also we have written print statement, right? So no program exists without writing a printf. Okay, this is that important. Okay, look at this printf. Here I want to display the value of x. So what I want to display is, I want to display like this. I want to display like this. X value is, if x value is 30, I want to display like this. So I'm expecting this kind of statement on my output screen. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm writing like this. Printf, in the double quotations you have to write x value is, so this up to this part, it is a normal statement. So you can place that part in the double quotations directly here. That part you can directly place in the double quotations. So coming to this value, so there is some value for x. I want to display that value of x. So x is holding some value. So what it is holding? I don't know what is the value of x. So whatever it is holding, I want to display that value. If it is holding 30, it displays 30. If it is holding 300, it displays 300. If it is holding 50, it displays 50. So I don't bother about what is actually inside x, but I want to display that value of x. So instead of this 30, I'll say a format specifier here. So I'm assuming that x is an integer. So x value is this one, percentile d, comma. So in my control string, I have one format specifier. So I'll display it as, this is how I'll write the printf statement. So instead of this x, I'm replacing that with the format specifier. So when it is executing printf, this format specifier is replaced with this x. That format specifier is replaced with x. Got it? So x value is, it displays the current value of x. Got it? So we'll see few other examples, then you can clearly understand. Okay. Let us say the previous example which we is taken in the program. So a value is something, and I have a b value also. And I want to display a print statement like this. Addition of two numbers is equal to. So here I want to display the value of sum of a plus b. So when you are adding two integers, you'll get the result is also integer. So I'll write like this: percentile d. Addition of two numbers is equal to. So after is equal to, I want to display the value. So which value I want to display? I want to display the value of results. Okay. Suppose if I say, I want a statement like this: addition of 10 and 30 is, if I want to display, I want a statement like this. I want a statement like this. So what you need to do to write a statement like this? So can anyone tell me? The printf. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, is it you're able to follow or not?
Sir.
It's a bit
So
confusing,
see,
sir, but it's okay.
what? Someone said something I'm not able to understand. See, I want to display a statement like this. So addition of 10 and 30 is equal to 40. So instead of that 10, 30, and 40, I want to display the values of those variables. Not 10, not 30. I want to display the value of A there. Instead of 30, I want to display the value of B. Instead of 40, I want to display the value of sum of A and B. Okay, I'll write like this: addition of percentile D and percentile D. Make sure you should write lowercase is percentile D. So I'll write like this. So how many format specifiers are there here?
3.
Three format
Three.
specifiers. So how many? So how many arguments you should have here?
Two.
Huh?
3.
Two.
You should have three arguments. Three arguments. When there are three format specifiers, three arguments. So see, I have three format specifiers here. First one, second, third. So instead of what I want to display instead of the first one, this is my first format specifier. And what argument you need to write instead of a second format specifier? And what you want to write instead of a third format specifier? So what you'll write after this comma, that is the first format specifier here. First one is the value of A. Second one is the value of B. And third one is the value of result. Here A, B and result, all the three are integer type. So I have written three format specifiers, that to 3 times percentile D. If any of them is float, I'll write it as percentile F. I'll write it as percentile F. So is this statement you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So then I'll show you with this in the program. So then you can easily understand. See, so this is your statement here, right? So I'll write one more statement here. So printf addition of percentile D and percentile D is percentile D. Okay. So three format specifiers, I'll write A, B, and results. A, B, and results. So here in the beginning of this statement, I have written /n. So you observe, I have written /n. So /n in your control string indicates to move the control to a new line. Otherwise, this statement will print continuation to the first printf. Immediately after end of the first statement, that is first printf, the second printf will start immediate to the first one. I don't want that. I want to print this statement in a new line. So when I say /n, the control will move to a new line, and there it starts printing this statement. See, I'm just modifying the value of this A and B. So this time I'll making A as 12 and B value as 35. So it will take the current values of A and B. So again, I'm compiling the code. See, look at the first statement. Addition of two numbers is equal to 47. What about the second statement? Addition of 12 and 35 is 47. So I have displayed all the three values, three variables, A, B, and result. So got it? And there is no restriction for you to write output like this. You can write any of this. So both the statements can be considered. Addition of two numbers, sum of two numbers. You can write anything. You can even write like this. Printf /n percentile D plus percentile D is equal to percentile D. So here it displays A, B, and result. So there is no restriction for us to write, you should write output like this or like that. So this is our choice, but make sure you give output properly. But if someone look at that, he or she should understand, okay, this is the output for when you add two numbers. So they should understand. Okay. So here in this control string, I have written three format specifiers. So three format specifiers are replaced with A, B, and results. Here all the three are integers. Suppose if it is a float here, all the format specifiers are simply replaced with percentile F. Everywhere you have to change them with percentile f. And you can just give values like 12.3456, 35.987. You give some, you can simply compile and run the code. So this is your result now. So if it is integer, I'll write percentile d. If it is float, I'll write percentile f. So got it? So you got the difference,
Yes,
how
sir.
to write a printf.
Yes, sir.
So everybody understood this? Yes, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we'll try to write some other programs and we'll see.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, if a value is an integer and b value is an float, then what, sir?
Yes, you can even write like this. So int a, float b. So I'll say int value is, a value is 12 and b value is 35 point something. So what is the result when you add an integer and float? That means what is the type of your data when you add integer and float? Will you get an integer result or float result?
Float result.
Float result. So most of the cases we have a chance of getting a float result. Okay, I'll write like this. Addition of two numbers is equal to, so percentile f, because result is a float. I have taken the type of the result as float. And next, addition of, so what is the type of first variable is percentile?
Integer.
D.
So percentile d and percentile f is percentile f. And here I'll write like this. Percentile d plus percentile f is equal to percentile f. Look at what happens when you compile the code and run. Addition of 12 and 35 point something is equal to 47 point that value 9875 something. Okay.
Okay,
You
okay,
can
sir.
use
Thank
any combinations like this. You can use your printf like with any type of combinations.
Sorry, sir, but your voice is audible.
What?
Your voice is not audible to me, sir.
Not audible.
It's a bit low.
Maybe something problem with my network or okay, I'll try to speak loudly. Okay, so this is how you can use
Voice
your,
is very clear, sir. Madam,
yes.
maybe from your side only.
No, sir. From my side, it is very good. Till now, it was very good, goodly audible. But now suddenly it is being low.
Okay, but now we are able to hear your voice also very clearly.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll see. So this is how you can use your print statement. But this is very, very important because in each and every program, without printf, there is no program. That is simple, bottom line. Because a very basic program also includes this printf. So when you are using this printf, printf is an output statement. So make sure you include the first header file, that is stdio.h. So that header file is for input and output operations. Okay, so that is for both input and output operations. So now we have seen an output operation, that is printf. In the next class or after the next class, so we'll see, I'll tell you one more function for input operations also. Okay, so now we'll try to write programs with output operation. When we are comfortable with this, I'll introduce the next one, that is how to get an input operation, how to take an input in the other way. So let us make ourselves comfortable with writing of this statement. So if we are okay with this, then I'll introduce that one. Okay, so now we'll write, shall we write one more program for doing this? So you try one program for displaying a multiplication of three numbers. So try writing for multiplication of three numbers. So finish.
Sir,
Hello?
hello,
Hello?
hello,
Hello?
hello.
Yes, yes. Is it audible or not?
Yes, sir, audible.
You finished writing it?
There is right aid.
What?
That should be right aid.
Yes, yes. That's what I'm telling. Okay, I'll tell you. Wait. So for multiplication of say three numbers, so I'll write like this, hash include. So what header file we need to include? What header file we need to include here?
Program of multiplication of three numbers.
I'm asking what header file we need to include. So hash include stdio.h and say void main. So what variables you require here? How many variables you require and what are the variables?
Three variables.
So what are the type of those three variables? Data type.
Integer.
I'll say int x, y, and z. And I require one more variable for storing the result. Right? I'll take input for those three variables now. So how to take input for the variables? I'll say x is equal to 5. So y is equal to 3. So z is equal to 3. So you take some input for the variables. And next, so what to calculate here? Result is equal to x into
Y
y
into
into
Z.
z. And next, so what is the next statement you need to write?
Printf.
I'll write printf
Multiplication of three numbers.
multiplication of, I'll say, percentile d, and
And
percentile
percentile D.
is percentile.
D.
So here I have to write how many format specifiers I have here? Huh?
3.
3.
Yeah.
I have four format specifiers here: x, y, z, and result.
Result.
X, y, z, and result.
Result.
So you just compile the code. If you skip writing any line without following the syntax, so it will not get compiled successfully. See, if I remove this semicolon here, after Z I have removed the semicolon. So you just compile and check. It will throw you a message.
Yeah.
So error. So
Yeah.
expected a semicolon before res. So you have to follow as per the syntax and then compile the code and then run your code. Say multiplication of 5, 3, and 3. So 5 into 3, 15, 15 into 3, 45. So got it?
Yes, sir.
So you try practicing for a few other programs, so like simple calculations. So you try for subtraction, you try for division, you try for modulo operation. So make a practice of writing print statement mainly. So before writing the print statement, you should have an idea. So what you actually want to display. If you have that idea, you have to write your print statement according to that idea. If my expected output is like this, so how to convert it into a printf? Okay, so with that you can write a print statement. So clear?
Sir,
So you try writing for few other print things. See you in the next class.
hello.
So you have any doubts, you can just ask me now.
Sir, printf, you have right answer. Instead of multiplication, what can we use the symbol?
Where inside the printf?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can use.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So any other doubts?
No, sir. Thank you.
No, sir, thank you.
So thank you. See you in the next class. Is there any syntax someone is messaging? Is there any syntax to leave lines after sentence? That means I don't get you. Who is this? Kajal. Hello? Kajal, can you please bit clear with your question? Is syntax a grammar? Syntax means the rules you need to follow. In the last code, you left the line 15. No, I am just writing a line gap to understand, so you people to understand clearly. That is what that is why I've left the lines. So there is no syntax for leaving the lines.